Indeed. Steve also caught up with Dillian Whyte. They defeated Dillian Whyte in his changing room after the fight.
Tough night, son.
Yeah, you know, it was, I think there was a lot in the fight. It was a close fight, obviously. The game plan was starting to come on more and more. Obviously, it was depressing. Obviously, the body didn't start moving forward, but, you know, my coaches gave me great advice. Sometimes in India, you see something else and then you make a decision. It didn't pay off for me because I was doing left, right, left, and then I was countering. I was trying to attack. Then I went left, right, and okay, I'm saying, okay, maybe now I can go one slip and come back with the shots. But went one slip and then I got caught with the shot.
Sometimes in fights you do nothing wrong. It's just one punch that can change things. It's not like you had a bad 5.5 rounds. You just got hit with one shot.
You got to make decision at a high level in there, man. High, you know, quick decision. So, but it's what it is, man. I didn't feel like I was outclassed India. He was just till I was that level, you know. Sanjay won. It's the greatest fight of all time, so.
And what about, you know, his size and his strengths, all those things that people talk about? Did he surprise you with any of that, or was it exactly what you expected, Dillian?
No, I wasn't surprised. He's a big, awkward guy. He was already switching that. I was still able to land shots, I was still able to land jabs, even though he saw me, I was still able to land jabs and do my thing, wet the body. But it was one of those fights where we were both on the edge. We was both on the edge, you know, we were both on the edge. So it was a close fight.
And just coming towards the end, did you feel you were getting closer with the shots? And
yeah. Body shots started to land more and more. And I think he was surprised I came out southpaw and lost it round, and it was very awkward for him as well. So it was good. I did some good shots. He learned some good shots. It was a good fight. It was a learning experience, you know. I felt like I was close to titles. You know, obviously, it was always going to be an awkward fight, but I was just trying to set my things up and trying to be patient and learn what I could early, and then later on start pressing the fight. As you can see from round 3 onwards, I started to press, but, you know, I should have pressed a bit more intelligent, but that's why it's experience. You can't buy it, you know.
listen, Dillian, you can leave here with your head held high, and everybody in here. Listen, thanks so for your time, both last week, throughout this week, and for letting us into your dressing room this evening.
Yeah, it's all good, man. Thank you guys for the support. Thanks for making a great event for me and for everyone else. Thank you.
What's good, family? Shout out to my doggy Freer, for boosting up your man the YB coin, no doubt. So we just heard the leaked audio from Dillian, the Shillian Shites. Post-fight, changing room. Yeah, listen, what can I say? Shillian, he gassed right now. He must have still been super duper concussed, cause, oh man, you know, the fight was super close and I was pressing. You weren't pressing. Shh, is what you weren't pressing. Yeah, about super close. The only thing that was super close was the end of your beak and Tyson Fury's right uppercut. That's the only two. Listen, like I said, the only two things that are close. The only two things that were close in that 6-round fight was your bonce and Tyson Fury's right uppercut. That's it. Nothing else was close. Yeah? Don't get me wrong. Listen, I can see how someone could misinterpret Tyson Fury's right hand nesting right on the end of your beak. Yeah? Oh, it was close. Of course it was close. Yeah, it was. 100%. Yeah? His Tyson Fury's knuckles was nested. Listen, Tyson Fury's knuckles was making sweet love with the end of your bonce. Yeah? With a 100%. Tyson Fury's knuckles were making deep, sweet love with the end of your whiskers. That's what did happen. But apart from that, oh, well, I was pressing him. I was doing this intelligently. And my team this. Dillian, you was useless. That's the truth. God's honest truth. But what I will say is, fair play to Shillian, because he did admit he's in there with one of the greatest of all times. That's the one thing he did get right. But part of me thinks that it's one of them ones. People say that when they've been beat because it makes them feel better. Yeah? So it was almost like a double-sided or a double-ended compliment. Oh, yeah. Well, you're the best in the world, and I was close with you, I wasn't outclassed, therefore, I must be some sort of derivative of the best in the world too. Do you get what I'm saying? But listen, Dillian, let me tell you something now. About weren't outclassed. You was the definition of outclassed. Of all the fights Fury's had, think about it. Now, to be fair, Fury is a different man than he was in the Wallin fight, but still, just based on historically speaking, who really? Even Tom Schwartz gave Fury harder work. That's a fact. Tom Schwartz actually pressed Tyson Fury back to the ropes. Now again, I'm not going to be facetious here and lie and say that was the real Tyson Fury, because we know now, since Sugar Hill's come along, it's a complete different beast. That's a fact. And when Tyson Fury fought Tom Schwartz, he was with Ben Davidson. Bum Davidson. Yeah, when Tyson Fury was training with Bum Davidson, he was useless. That's as God's honest truth. No good. And I think the first Wilder fight reflects that. The Tom Schwartz fight reflects that. The Otto Wallin fight reflects that. Tyson Fury under Sugar Hill, complete different beast. But still, going based on pure resume and not adjusting for what trainer Tyson Fury has, Dillian Whyte is about middle of the road. Yeah, you can't say Dillian Whyte gave Tyson Fury a harder night than Schwartz or Wallin. And you definitely can't say Dillian Whyte gave Fury a harder night than any of the Wilder fights. And this really, I gotta say, I'm gonna do another video on this in its own right. But I must say this, I must make another apology. I've already apologised to Tyson Fury. Not that it matters, not that he cares about me. What I'm saying, I'm someone I don't have no ego. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I was wrong. Yeah, 100%. I was wrong about Tyson Fury. Much better than I expected. Much better than I've given credit for in the past. Another thing, Deontay Wilder. For years, I trolled Deontay Wilder, thinking Dillian Whyte would do something with him. Listen, let me tell you now. Deontay Wilder now would lay Dillian Whyte out cold within 6 rounds. It's as simple as that. The Brixton Bomber will be comatose. He's so sloppy. Yeah? Deontay Wilder, I genuinely believe it could be done within a round or 2. The minute that right hand lands, he's gone out cold. Dillian really don't have no defence. All he does is put his hands up in the air, similar to Bermain Stavern. We know what Wilder loves, someone who has slow feet, has slow hands, and likes to stand there and put their hands up. That's Wilder's favourite, his favourite snack, because Wilder has no problem just slugging a big 1-2 in the middle of it, right into your bonds. So that you best believe that as well, 100%. I would definitely, if Wilder ever fights Dillian Whyte, which I think would be a great scrap in terms of build-up, well, assuming Dillian Whyte turns up this time, it'd be great for build-up, but the fight wouldn't go 6 round in my opinion. Dillian Whyte would be a snack for Wilder. That's just what it is, people. And I'm sorry, but I'm sick of these dons, yeah, gassing the place up, cashing pay-per-view coins in, and then delivering that kind of crap. It was bad, but really, we're to blame. Eddie Hearn's to blame. Because we got sold, to be honest, I wasn't even a Whyte fan. I've been slagging him off, and rightfully so, but you mans, again, the last 6 months, I've been exposing the Dillian Whyte pay-per-view scam. Lucas Brown. Yeah? All you man got gassed off Dillian because of Lucas Brown. The man Dave Allen knocked out with a body shot. Oh, YB! Arr! Doing all this howling. You joking? Arr! You beat Big Daddy Brown. Big Bummy Brown. Yeah? Big helmet looking ass. Big Willy helmet. Listen, that Big Daddy Brown looks like a big Willy helmet. 100%. Who else you beat? Who's he beat? Who Dillian beat? No one knows. No one knows who he beat. Life and death with Joseph Parker. Life and death. Everyone you go in there with life and death. And this man out here talking about 500 days. Oh, I've been done so wrong. And all you white man fans. Oh, he been done so wrong. He needs his shot. He needs to sit down somewhere and be grateful he's managed to scam the public, selling them bum fights and fighting bums. This really is one of the weakest heavyweight divisions. I'm telling you now. From the 90s, yeah. 90% of people, even bums, would have a go on Dillian. He's got no chin, useless, he's no discipline, big bulbous belly. Get in shape. Why are you coming in with udders? I don't get that. I don't understand it. What is it? A cow milking competition? Big bulbous dudes. No respect for just coming in heavy and slow looking. I've never seen a man so slow. I just haven't seen it. Feet so slow. But honestly, it's again, I said yesterday, there needs to be a government investigation into how this man Dillian made $8 million last night. For what? I'm pretty sure we can all go in there, 250-pound, big bulbous slow dudes. I mean, what's the point? You know what I'm saying? Who? Please, someone pay me 8 mil to go in there, nice and big and slow, nice and, you know what I mean, merry-looking Father Christmas wannabe ass. Yeah. And people was telling me, Eddie Hearn was telling me, YB, he ain't training. I mean, he ain't talking because he's training. He was. He should have been talking. At least then he could say, well, the thing is, people, I was gassing the place up and I lost sight of what I was doing. He was meant to be training. Let's be real now. Dillian Whyte was out of gas after about 3 rounds. Dillian Whyte was out of ideas and out of gas after the first round. One thing I will agree, I do think, even though Tyson Fury disagrees, well, to be fair, I'm not sure, but the thing is with Dillian, we don't even know because he didn't carry on doing it. But the first round, I do think, put Fury off a little bit to some extent. As much as you can put Fury off, I think he was a bit befuddled. But Dillian Whyte abandoned that almost immediately. God knows why. Dillian Whyte's best round was the first round, in my opinion, and even that he lost. Anyway, listen. I feel the fans have been robbed here. Bottom line, I didn't see that hood Brixton mentality. Didn't see it. Yeah, I saw a man who was happy to go through the motions. Dillian for me didn't come wading forward, did he? Let's be real now. I didn't think he would, because historically he's never really done that. But all this talking, I thought, well, surely the talking going to mean something. No, instead, he sat at mid-range, got his bonce played with. Tyson Fury played with Dillian Whyte's bonce. That's just what happened. And then put him out his misery. Yeah? If anything, I think Tyson Fury was somewhat merciful, because he could have give Dillian Whyte the Chisora 2 treatment and just proper jabbed his bonce right in. Instead, Tyson Fury, because he was friends with Dillian, he thought, you know what, I'm just going to give him the one-hitter quitter, because I want to make sure Dillian can still speak afterwards. Yeah? I don't want Dillian's bonce to be so rattled he ends up like Chisora, putting his house on, do you know what I mean? Putting his house on some Euro bum leveled on. 100%. Derek Chisora put his house and bet Joseph Parker that Dillian would win by knockout. It's bad. All that hype about Eddie Hearn talking about Dillian Whyte's left hook. He didn't land one left hook all night. Wow. All that woofing. And to be fair to Wilder, in all 3 fights, he landed the right hand a few times. You know what I mean? And then people was, even myself, I get my hands in the air. People criticise Wilder. At least he got what he's supposed to get off. Do you know what I'm saying? All this talk about Dillian's big looping left hook. And really, Dillian hasn't changed. He was always been a brawler. And to be honest, he weren't even, that's the worst thing about it. Dillian's known as a brawler, but he ain't even a brawler. I'm not sure what he is. Because he didn't even come to brawl. He didn't even come to get stuck in. He came to just try and outbox. Genuinely, Dillian Whyte was trying to outbox and out-counterpunch a man half a foot taller than him. I don't know what strategy they was making in that camp. Oh yeah, we're going to out-counterpunch the counterpuncher and a big tall counter. Do you know, it's unbelievable, the strategy. I told you, listen, if I was going to fight Fury, man, the bottom line is, you're going to get knocked out anyway, so you might as well get knocked out and try and make it uncomfortable for a few rounds. Get your elbows in, get your chin down, and just wade forward. Simple as that. Wade forward and bang away. Yeah? Now, to be fair, Fury's quite intelligent and knows how to tie up, but that's your only choice. That's the problem, you see. When you're fighting tall people, it's your only option. I've told you before, there is no... People today are told... Boxers are told today, oh, don't worry, there's a special way you can do things without... You know what I mean? There's a special way you can beat tall, high-level fighters without getting stuck in. There's not. Look at Canelo, for example. Canelo, when he fought Kovalev, spent 11 rounds getting his bonce jabbed. He was just following around the ring, getting jabbed half to death. And then he found a shot. To be honest with you, somewhat luckily. And that's Canelo. And that's someone old like Kovalev. Old-ass Kovalev. It took Canelo literally 11 rounds to have any success, really. So the point is, and that's someone of Canelo's stature against someone a lot worse, and Tyson Fury's leagues above Kovalev, especially Kovalev at that point. Kovalev at that point was shot to bits as well. Canelo couldn't find any gaps against a shot to pieces Kovalev for 11 rounds. And Tyson Fury's not only leagues above Kovalev, he's also not shot. So it's like double whammy. And also, Dillian's nothing like Canelo. You know what I'm saying? So and that's why you ain't got a prayer. And that's what we saw. We saw Dillian didn't have a prayer. And he needs to accept that. Yeah? It weren't close. You weren't edging closer. You weren't doing nothing. You was categorically one of the most useless guys I've ever seen. Most useless and overpaid guys I've ever seen. Dillian Whyte should be paid about 300 grand for that performance, in my opinion. This wasn't an $8 million performance. It just wasn't for me. Didn't tick any of the boxes. He didn't push him at all. When you think about what Wilder went through. When you think about how Wilder pushed through and tried to find a way, and then you look at this guy. The guy who'd been ducked for all these years and all this kind of stuff. Yeah, it weren't it for me. It just wasn't. This weren't. Yeah. I don't want to hear, from now on, I don't want to hear no more about White. No more. I don't want to hear no more about how bad he been done and all. No more. He needs to sit down somewhere now. Dillian Whyte, he won't do because it's too easy to make coin. But if people really care about the sport, no one should ever buy a Dillian Whyte pay-per-view ever again. Bottom line. Because he didn't do any of the things he was saying he was going to do. The same way I tell people, no one should buy an Anthony Johnston pay-per-view. Because these guys talk a good game and don't do any of the things they're selling. The only guy who does what he's selling is Tyson Fury. He tell you, these guys are bums and they're getting chinned, and that's what he does. Now, I'm consistent. In the past, Tyson Fury, when he was with Ben Davidson and whatever else, Tyson Fury would say he's going to get the knockout, and he never did. And I'd expose that as well. But now, Tyson Fury tells you what he's going to do, and he delivers. They're the people you support. You don't support these charlatans fighting European level cats and making a big, I've been ducked for so many years. You're lucky. You're lucky Wilder didn't fight you. Because if he did, you'd have been stone cold a lot earlier. There's no doubt about that. And I just wish I was 6'5" and was a big round bubbly Don. Do you know, so come get some of them coins. Do you know what I'm saying? Them $8 million coins. It's really unbelievable. And now I'm hearing people saying, oh, no word of a lie, I got the White fans telling me now, oh, but YB, you said he wasn't going to turn up. Listen, no, could you not, White fans got nothing else to say but to try and, oh, but YB, it's not the point that he lost. You said he wasn't going to turn up. You need to apologise. What? I'll tell you who needs to apologise. Shite needs to apologise for that whopper of a performance. About you need to apologise because you was wrong. He actually he didn't turn up. Is that what you call turning up? Yeah? He turned up to give Tyson Fury I wouldn't even call it sparring. We've seen Tyson Fury go through more in sparring than he did last night. It wasn't even a sparring session. I'm not sure what you'd call it. This was a target practice session. This was a highlight KO session. Yeah? Simple as that. So like I said, I don't want to hear no more about White. I don't want to hear no more about Eddie Hearn. Oh, Eddie Apples. I don't want to hear no more about Eddie Hearn. I don't want to hear no more about apples and pears. I don't want to hear no more about the Brixton. Oh, I'm the Brixton this. You give Brixton, in my opinion, White gives Brixton a bad name. That's my opinion. Because if this Don represents Brixton, damn, it's bad in Brixton right now. The streets are yearning for something real. Yeah. Dillian Whyte too busy trying to cover up his marriage to Lamar. Simple as that. And not enough time focusing on getting in shape. Listen, Dillian, just because Lamar likes his men big and round, don't mean that, you know what I'm saying? That's fine. I'm happy for you. If you're happy, but you shouldn't be putting your willingness to satisfy Lamar over the sport. Dedicate yourself to one. Dedicate yourself to being the best wife to Lamar or trying to be the best athlete. Don't be doing things like, oh, but Lamar wants me to stay super thick, so I'm not going to lose any. No, lose the weight. Commit to the sport. Oh, but YB, I'm not going to lose weight because Lamar wants to keep me super fit in my white frilly knickers. All that kind of behaviour. Pagan ass, looking ass behaviour. Not a good look. Yeah? The Brixton bummer. 100%.